Have you noticed this in your lifetime? The world is ruled by patterns, cycles, and the connections between everything. If you haven't, what in the heck are you doing watching this channel? I've always tried to see what others don't, the hidden connections which power these patterns and cycles, which I guess transfers well over to crypto, as crypto throughout its history is about as cyclical as it gets. So are you ready to get up? Come on, get down with this cyclicalness. Don't be disturbed, it's time for Chico Crypto. So, talking about cycles, what about altcoin cycles? Yeah, those altcoins out there, thousands upon thousands now, move in cycles too. The best altcoin cycle, Altseason. And those who are too blind to see it, we have been in the depths of an alt season for nearly 4 months now. This can best be seen comparing BTC dominance with all other altcoins, the ones out of the top 10. As you can see, since January, the dominance of other altcoins is surging. A low of under 10% dominance at the beginning of January to nearly 19% today. That is a ton of liquidity flowing into these altcoins over the past months, aka an alt season. That's exactly why I posted this video December 9th, just before the start of the alt season, titled Open Your Eyes, Alt Season is Ready to Begin. My top coin picks, diving into Uniswap and alternative AMMs, automated market makers. So the big question is, will this alt season continue, or is that little recent dip in the others dominance chart the beginning of something more? Well, unfortunately, alt seasons still depend on a healthy Bitcoin price. If we have a full-on BTC reversal, Bitcoin going down, alt season is canceled. Bitcoin goes sideways, even a little lower, alt season is still on. Bitcoin continues up, alt season is most definitely on. And I don't think this cycle is over for BTC. Remember the 100K last hurrah? That means personally, I think alt season is far from over. So who could be on the top of my mind for another altcoin cycle? Well, guess who struck the partnership of a lifetime? Cardano. They teamed up with Africa like they said they're going to. Well, just a piece of it, Ethiopia. They struck a deal with their government to roll out an identity solution to the country's youth through schools. So, is ADA my pick? Oh, hell no. I just want to compare that partnership and show how much Cardano is overvalued compared to something deployed live in a true partnership with a country that is already changing the game. Last year, it was announced that Sora had developed a CBDC, central bank digital currency, with the Kingdom of Cambodia, which would become the backbone of their payment system. The Hyperledger Foundation put out a case study detailing the success of the system, and that success of it is further confirmed by the commercials playing across the Cambodian airwaves, getting users onboarded to the first production-ready blockchain-based CBDC system. But the recognition of Bakong is reaching further and further. Bakong was just featured in the news March 8th, and Director of Tax and Transfer for Asia, Ernst & Young, Brendan Lalore, said this.
So, very important development for the Cambodian economy. What they're trying to achieve with Bakong is to effectively bring all the current platforms, the apps, etc., payment e-wallets onto one platform that the central bank, the NBC, can control through the blockchain technology, which is blockchain's basically like a ledger that records all transactions, and that will facilitate instantaneous transactions, both for the payment of goods and services, but also for transferring from one account to another.
Very important to the Cambodian economy. I wonder how important. Well, Makamoto Takemiya spoke on the Bakong project last year, and besides Soromitsu and the National Bank of Cambodia, new partners include Deloitte, KPMG, and Netitude, a global leading cybersecurity firm. Obviously, big names took notice. Now just go to Soromitsu's website. They list all the projects they are involved with. Bakong and the Sora network are right next to each other. They describe Bakong as a collaboration between Soromitsu and the National Bank of Cambodia. Bakong is a next-generation real-time gross payment system. The Bakong Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC, is a secure alternative to paper banknotes designed to function within the parameters required by the banking system. Central Bank, CBDC. Now this is how they describe the Sora network on their website, right next to Bakong. Sora is both a new economic system that decentralizes the concept of a central bank, as well as a network that implements a parachain to the Polkadot relay chain and ecosystem. The key there is it decentralizes the concept of a central bank. Bakong as of now is centralized, but if it ever wants to expand outside of its own country walls, where do you think is a decentralized central bank it will connect to? My opinion, the Sora network, which is getting more scarce by the minute. If you didn't know, the highly touted and anticipated Polkaswap has gone live into a soft launch, and it was rocky, no doubts about that. The bridge was having major issues, LP tokens taking time to show up, but people still were able to get their money across, and Makoto tweeted this 2 days ago, on the first day of the soft launch. I don't know how we got so much use on Polkaswap, but over 796 XOR were burned so far today. This blows my mind. Now, some people were upset this didn't work flawlessly out the gate, but people, this was the first production live Polkadot Parachain to Ethereum bridge. There are other entities working on one, ChainSafe's Chain Bridge and the Snow Bridge, but those are just concepts or demos for now. They aren't live or have never been on a live Polkadot Parachain. Sora's Hashi Bridge is live, and the first one is always going to have issues. If you didn't know, the first POA to Ethereum bridge, production ready, launched in 2018 from POA, which is the basis for most EVM to EVM bridges today. It had major issues at launch too. And even up to August 2019, which is evidence from this POA network post. XDAI to DAI transaction take a highly variable amount of time. The bridge wasn't functioning as it was supposed to, but it got fixed. That is why if you're going to cross the bridge and take part in the Polkaswap soft launch, never risk large amounts, as it's the first one. Now, besides XOR being a strong hodl of mine for the next alt season, what is another I think is prime for breakout? iEXEC RLC. Back in September of last year, Ontochain was announced, which was funded by the European Commission and government, the goal to build the software ecosystem of the next generation internet. And of course, iEXEC was chosen as a key technical partner. Well, it had been all quiet on the Western front since regarding Ontochain, but just last week, iEXEC dropped a blog detailing the specific projects being funded. And one of them is called Island. Going to Ontochain's website on Island, they say this about it. Island focuses on enabling semantic interoperability services for the Ontochain technology stack. Island's aim is to capitalize the offerings of the Ontochain platform and enhance software blocks that will be brought by the SMEs. How will they do this? Well, down in generic use case description, they say, specifically, semantic agreements will provide the capability of validation through blockchain-enabled smart contracts that will execute on top of the iEXEC blockchain network, which will ensure that ontologies as well as on-chain and off-chain knowledge is logically consistent, or otherwise provide alerts in case of data inconsistencies. An island of SME data on top of the iEXEC blockchain? Well, the other selected projects for funding will be integrated with iEXEC too, and it's more than a few from their blog. Just wait for the announcements. Cheers, I'll see you next time.